Posted by u/wackyu0rld. Trans classmate seems fixated on me, would it be worth reporting to our coordinator? We are both adults and studying in a diploma class so we can move on to a BA. I have recently been diagnosed with autism after years of being undiagnosed. I'm not low IQ yet I have trouble understanding people who give vague indicators then expect me to know what their problem is, connecting emotionally with people, understanding their intentions, and passive-aggressive behavior especially because I am straightforward with my thoughts and intentions. Such as I don't pretend to like stuff, I don't like to make others happy for example, shitty music, I don't do small talk because it's senseless to me, and I say clear yes and no to things. The people running our diploma program know I'm on the spectrum. In class I made a group on FB so we can share information and potentially set up group study. My trans classmate just going to call K joined except she immediately started doing stuff like calling me on Facebook while I was at work, about 6 times, without asking to contact me. When I messaged her why are you calling me? She sent me walls of text for questions she should be asking our coordinator, so I told her to email our coordinator and ignored her especially because a lot of it was about online stuff and I'm not talking her through steps while I am at work. In class she approached me by standing over my desk and saying I'm so sorry I offended you by calling you because you're clearly upset. I actually didn't even think of the encounter until she approached me again 4 days later in a weird rage. K seems to not know how to read or something because we can have the instructions shown to us in class, step by step, and she still can't do the basic online aspects of the study. Hence even in person I'm showing her how to find links, announcements, etc. and that's when she started touching me like leaning on me when I'm showing her things online, touching my shoulder, and commenting how nice my makeup is. I don't like being touched in general, but this was intentional because she keeps touching me in situations she doesn't need to touch me. Often she talks about being trans a lot where a lot of the women in class congratulate and praise her, tell her how beautiful she is, that she's talented, and other generic compliments. Except this happens every time we're in class at break times. I don't say anything because I don't think she's beautiful or special like I cannot pretend she is an attractive woman. I'm not going to call her ugly but I'm also not going to tell her how beautiful she is every time she talks about herself either. Also she can't follow basic instructions where I or someone else has to show her over and over again. One day Kay started walking with me on the campus and talking about how she wonders if the men around the campus find her attractive. I said they could, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Then she started saying oh I'm just so ugly and started staring at me so I said okay then she got angry and left. Another time when at the campus cafe I was watching study videos while drinking my coffee, Kay was there and started asking me how I feel about the weather. I said I feel nothing for it then went back to watching my videos then she was saying I hate her and I'm rude then left again. I have no idea why she keeps approaching me then witching, there's people she hangs out with in the class anyway so she can hang out with them. There's times she's just staring at me in class, and I ask her what she wants then she huffs and looks away, then starts staring at me again. She asked me for my number, and I said no. She asked me why and I said because I don't want to, then I heard her trying to ask other classmates for my number. One day Kay invited me to some LGBT festival thing while in class which I thought was weird since we have less than an acquaintance level of a rapport. Also I like kayaking and gardening I don't like festivals. When I said I don't want to go Kay implied I might have an issue with her for being trans yet she's not even an afterthought when I leave class. The biggest incident happened last week after class where I was walking in a secluded area of the grounds which is a forest area. I actually had walked the wrong way, so I turned around to find Kay had followed there. She started swearing at me, but I just started at her and said what? Then she was like I'm sorry then quickly walked off somewhere so I just went back to the main area then went home. I don't know what her deal is, sometimes it feels like because I don't praise or try talk with her, she makes extra effort to try approach me, but I'm not interested. She annoys me and I don't want to hang out with her especially because you just need eyes to read the material online though she acts as if we're reading PhD level text, and she seems to think I'm targeting her? We have nothing in common. Now on to some comments before the update. Posted by Russ Gribble. I think Kay is definitely someone with boundary and self-esteem issues. She's interested in you but won't accept your disinterest and thinks guilt-tripping you into complimenting/paying attention to her will work. It's very juvenile. I think your best course of action would be to lay it all out there. You're not interested in being friends and she should leave you alone. OP responded with, this is why I probably won't be interested even further. Coconut Milk responded with, this. But please make it clear, record it if you have to, that this is in no way related to Kay being trans. Kay has already accused you of not liking her because of being trans so based on their previous actions, she may accuse you of things if you reject her. I don't mean to instill fear, Just cover your bases and be respectful and straightforward when turning her down. Posted by Pinworm. I'll keep this as simple as possible. People are often interested in the things they can't have. For example, if your mom bakes an apple pie and says, "This delicious pie is off limits," there's a sense the pie is now more appealing. And you get hungrier looking at it. K is trying to get your attention, likely because she's interested in you romantically. This is perhaps why she touched your shoulder and complimented your makeup. Touch is a love language for a lot of people. She's also asking you questions because she's fishing for dialogue and common ground. School assignments are neutral topics. That's a great starting point. When you direct her to the coordinator, she no longer has that in. So, you keep rejecting K, either on purpose, or inadvertently. She's craving the attention you're not giving. K may not know you're on the spectrum and is likely misinterpreting your affect. It might be good to tell her that and let her know what it means. And then let her know you're uncomfortable with the attention and see how she reacts. If she backs off, great. If she ignores, bring it up with the coordinator. OP responded with, "How can you be romantically interested in someone who rarely talks to you beyond showing you how to do basic work online?" Alex_Truman1 responded with, "Exactly. Like forbidden fruit." Posted by Cicero. Besides your coordinator, I would also tell your classmates in the same diploma class. You don't have to be friends with them, but I think asking, "Hey, does K insist on getting your number even when you turn her down? Does K touch you too? Does she call you incessantly through FB and follow you into the woods on campus?" will let you know if she's also inappropriate with others, and more importantly, it'll make your classmates see that you feel uncomfortable with her, and if it comes down to it, they'll give you support if someone tries to paint you as transphobic. Now on to the update. We had class today. I didn't want to mention it originally, yet our campus is on hospital grounds, basically a classroom in a back building with a mock hospital. There's a forest area around the side that connects to a walking track. Other students from universities and general med students go there too to use the mock hospital. Anyway, we were practicing vital signs on each other. I moved into a small group, and we were actually going ahead with things like normal. We also were having causal discussions, testing each other, etc. K was sitting behind me with other classmates in one of the other subgroups. She kept trying to get my attention and for some reason monitor my behavior, like trying to tell me to stop talking when literally everyone was talking. I told her to not tell me what to do, then ignored her trying to talk to me, such as attempting to join into my conversations again and asking me which suburb I live in. Then she decided to rush me and take my vital signs by placing a pressure cuff on my arm. Briefly, when you are taking a manual blood pressure, you find the radial pulse and pump until you can no longer feel it. From that measurement point you add 30, for example, radial stops at 110, so you release, then pump it back up to 140, release and listen with a stethoscope on the brachial pulse to find the range. I know Puritans are going to try correcting me, but it's just a rough idea. Anyway, Kay skipped all that to crank the cuff up to the 200 plus range to basically crush my arm with the cuff, then pretended she didn't know that wasn't correct despite being normal with other people. I immediately addressed it with our coordinator and told her about the other things that happened. Turns out Kay has been harassing other students, harmed another student in a similar way, and she's been aggressive to multiple people. We also had a type of mediation with Kay, the coordinator, me, and an educational nurse. I can't remember her main role. Kay started ranting she was upset because she tried being my friend and usually everyone likes her. She's simply asking for help, she's stressed from study, and of course I'm displaying potential transphobia. I mentioned I think she's creepy and overbearing, then there was more of a discussion among all of us. Currently they decided on distancing us, no touching, and Kay can't approach me when I'm alone. There will be more action taken, but this only occurred today. With the other students and I, it's like Kay is trying to bully and control us / wants to be in charge but is too stupid to do the work herself since she can't even follow basic tasks. It's like having a blind person spit on you then asking you to help walk them across the street. I think potentially in a way she's trying to target the smarter students because she wants us to do her work. She's acting like a brute and trying to demand help from us. There were times she would come up to me on break and just shove her laptop in my face demanding I show her X, Y, Z. The other thing, it's like she gets easily slighted then needs to react back in ridiculous ways. Then goes back into pretending to be nice. Addressing other things. I'm not asexual, I'm attracted to attractive men I have actual conversations with and common ground, not some aggro witch that demands things from me and harasses me. I'm also not disclosing with Kay I'm autistic because it's none of her crazy business. My arm still hurts, and she can go F herself. I blocked her from my group in FB. I will not allow her to join my study groups in person, and she's never going to perform vital signs on me again. No one is taking her comments of transphobia seriously, and I think she's just using it as a last resort when she's slighted to try make you feel guilty or comply. I hope she gets kicked out of the program. Now on to the final update. Kay had chilled out since the mediation yet had other issues going on. She had also bothered at least 4 other students with calling them through Facebook, ranging from early morning to random hours of the night, demanding information or answers, trying to control and dominate people in class, for example trying to tell them to shush when they were having conversations with other people or asking questions, trying to insert herself in conversations and invalidating people's experiences, going at people's throats over minor slights, racist/ignorant questions aimed at students from certain religions, etc. Then I found out she had been writing about me online. Some people felt they couldn't talk or do things in class because Kay would be there nitpicking and nagging them. Even in separate group activities she would be watching certain people just to go at them, harming at least 2 people with a pressure cuff. She would even try lecture healthcare staff on things like hand hygiene, such as telling nurses or PCAs with 30+ years experience how to do things when we're working in the mock hospital, then go mess something up. Kay was then moved to a different campus and put into an alternative learning program, which I think ultimately relaxed the entire class. Kay claims she wasn't aware of how her behavior impacted others and she's anxious. I don't know how being anxious makes you so aggressive. Kay wanted to apologize to everyone, and thankfully the coordinators decided against that. I am going to see a psychologist to work on my own communication issues and setting boundaries.